everybody, and welcome to our final chat on UT Mental. This week we've been talking about resilience, so TGIF for one last time. So at this point, we've got a couple of working definitions of resilience from the other vloggers. To me, resilience is really about being strong, and it's about conflict resolution. And I feel like it's about also perseverance and working hard to get to a happy place and get where we want to be. And in order to develop that resilience, it takes a lot of motivation. I often used to walk around and see people around campus or around my workplaces and just think about what was really motivating them to get through life. I often found myself in points of my life where I would just lose all motivation and therefore lose all resilience. And I didn't want to feel like that anymore. So I came to a point a few years ago where I was like, you know what, I need to find my own motivation and I need to figure out what keeps me going as an act of self-love for me. And sometimes, honestly, I still find myself without motivation. And I find myself in this chain of thinking where I'm just like, what am I doing with my life? What is the point of any of this? Why do I even keep going? Why can't I just curl up into my bed and sleep all day? But speaking about motivation, I wanted to pose the question, what motivates you? Even if I'm just going to sit down for 20 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes a day and just do a quick free write just so that I can get all of the things that are inside my head out onto a piece of paper, I feel like that is motivating for me because that means that I can take a moment and I can reflect on what's going on in my life and what's going on in my head. I often find myself in chapters sitting there with a stack of books because I find that that's something that I like to do because I like to get into other people's heads and I like to see what other characters are doing in their situations to achieve their goals and kind of show their strength in the novel. So I think that motivation really stems from happiness and finding your happy place and finding your pleasant place in life. I think that motivation plus happiness equals resilience. Because again, resilience to me is about perseverance. It's about something difficult happening in your life and you are like, you know what? No, I am going to battle my way through this. I can do this. I am strong. I have the tools to make this possible. Personally, I think that resilience comes from positivity, surrounding yourself with a strong group of core people, confidence, and the most important, perseverance. And that comes back to motivation. What's going to motivate you to be that confident, persevering person that I know that you are? Is it having a mantra that you chant in your head when you get into a difficult situation? I'm going to tell you a secret. I had a mantra just a few months ago, and my mantra that kept me going and made me feel very motivated and resilient was, it's not my fault. So every time that I would get into a tough situation, this is literally what would play in my head. And sometimes still, if I get into situations that are hurtful or difficult for me, then I'm always thinking to myself, don't worry, it's not your fault. This is happening, but you can deal with it. Of course, I accept that some situations are my fault, but in those kinds of situations that were more difficult for me, I found that chanting "it is not my fault" really helped, and it helped to clear my mind and think of the situation better. One other thing that motivates me, for example, is actually going and hanging out with a group of people. I find that I get very down and I feel very weak when I have not hung out with a good group of people in a long time. Have you ever heard the phrase that you are the product of the 5 closest people to you? So take a second. Who are the 5 closest people to you? What are they like? Do you like to hang out with them? Are they positive influences on you? Are they bringing you down or are they picking you up? So take another second. Think about the conflicts that are facing you in your life right now, if there are any, or think about conflicts that you've had in the past. How did you solve them if they were in the past? Or now, how is it that you're working to solve them? What's motivating you to solve those conflicts, or what motivated you in the past? I think that we're all extremely resilient simply for persisting at life. The fact that we are all still here, the fact that we're watching these videos, the fact that we've gotten through conflict before, and the fact that we're getting through conflict now, I think that that really means that we will continue to get through conflict. So whatever it is, whatever conflict you've gotten through in the past, whatever you're dealing with now, whatever you deal with in the future, you can. You can do it. So anytime that you find yourself stuck in a rut, think to yourself, I am strong, I am confident, I am positive, and I am resilient. So just remember to keep going. You're not alone. Anytime that you think that you are, find someone, grab someone from your network and just be like, tell me I'm not alone. Of course, it may not be that easy. And sometimes you might have to look to yourself. So thank you so much for listening and for chatting with me for the last 4 weeks. I think we've had some fun together and hopefully you've gotten something from all of my vlogs. So be sure to check out the other vloggers for the rest of the week. You'll see Ridwan tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be awesome. And thanks so much again for chatting with me. Keep in mind that there's resources on campus if you need them.